wanna move closer on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Bingo bottle, never stop it. To the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world.
What's up, everybody? This is Ted Karras for the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincy Hat, and you're watching Bengals and Brews.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show. The Bengals finally signed someone after a couple days of inactivity, or agreed to terms with someone. We got Greg flashing the camera for everybody. Not full shirt off, but pretty excited. 2-year, $26 million deal with Jonathan Allen. He is 31, getting ready to turn 32. At the same point in time, it's a guy who had like 4 sacks last year. Dustin, I know you were telling me about some of the pressures. I'll let you talk about, kind of what he did last year and kind of where he's at still in this point in his career. A guy that played in 17 games.
Yeah, good. A good rotational piece. Really excited about it. He had 34 pressures last year, 3.5 sacks. So that level of, just think, we get 4 to 6 sacks out of him as a higher end projection. I mean, that's far superior than anything that we had. That's probably what we tried to do with Sheldon Rankins. And, it would have been interested if he stayed healthy, if that's the production we would have got from him, So I think nonetheless, a solid rotational piece, a mentor. I am somebody that likes to keep the defense generally young because it is a position of reaction and you kind of want to be twitchy. You guys probably heard me say that 100 times. Nonetheless, I do think because defensive tackle, 3-tech, whatever you want to call these guys, is a developmental position. So even if we drafted somebody at that spot, and I'm sure we'll get into the Peter Woods pro day today, even if we draft that position, you're going to have somebody that needs development in that role. So I think, if that's a position we do attack in the draft, great. I hope we do. But, they can lean on Jonathan Allen as a person that helps develop them. And while we're still getting pretty decent production out of that, I think it does add some juice. Now, how much? A little older, I don't know. But I think that type of position, I'm fine with them being a little bit longer in the tooth because they know the ins and outs on how to beat guards and centers and, so on and so forth, leverage, that sort of thing.
Yeah. No,
I was just going to say, I was going to toss it to you right after, but I was just going to say, I'm excited they took a swing at that position because it's such a glaring hole right now for any kind of pass rush juice. So I know he's older, but I don't care. You have to take swings when you're the Bengals and your defense is underperformed. And now the Mafe and Cook signings look better when you plug in a D tackle. And we'll look at some of the linebacker options still out there because I'm hoping they're not just going to keep the 2 rookies, but we'll see. There's still a few names out there that could come in and compete for starting spots. But Greg, your thoughts on Jonathan Allen?
So Jonathan Allen, I saw that, like I say, I was happy as hell. I mean, it was just driving me nuts and all that. I'm like, just signed somebody. I was driving my car and all that. All of a sudden I see, bam, got Jonathan Allen. Like, this is not normal Bengals. Normally we don't sign guys in their 30s that much. And I'm glad we did. Like Dustin, you just said it takes time to develop. But what I wanted to point out is, I know some people are going to get scared by his run defense grade, but Dale, you and I kind of talked a little bit about that it wasn't bad, but this is my take. We have enough run defenders on defense. Give me that full-time pass rush guy that can come in on third down, get you that sack that you need. I could give 2 shits if his run defense is bad, right? Just give me
the grade's bad. I don't know how bad his actual run defense is because, I haven't done a deep dive into him. I'm not going to sit here and say I did with this tape from last year. But I was seeing several clips from games last year where, he still got that stack and shed stout. Looked pretty stout against the run, Mm-hmm. He's not like a complete liability there. He's a veteran. He's been there and done that. But as Greg said, we need pass rush. If he gives us some pass rush, then we're all for it. That's what we really need.
Ernie Greenlaw just signed with the Niners.
So Greenlaw back to the Niners, right? He was a Niner before. That's one that I was hoping for right there.
Yeah, you kind of think my theory too is this league is probably a little bit more connected than we think. Having a resource in these teams, knowing that guys are going to get released and you can still swoop them up in free agency. I think that could have been a thing the whole time. It's kind of how, or like you evaluate, and I don't know what extent they go about this, but you evaluate rosters, you see, okay, the Vikings are probably going to want to sign Kyler Murray and throw a lot of money at him. Who do they have on their roster that could be, expendable in terms of like salary and age and that sort of thing? So, another man's trash is another man's treasure. Now I do think like attacking the linebacker position, still a little curious of what the plan there is. There's not a lot out there, so I'm just not sure. I was under the impression, in the way that Al Golden spoke, that he was under the impression that they would attack that position too, and getting in.
Chanel, I mean, that just drove me nuts. Only $7 million a year for 3 years, so affordable right there. We have Paul Dana on. Literally that's who exactly they were explaining with Chanel. But it is what it is. So, now the Greenlaw's off. I mean, I know there's Bobby Wagner still out there, and Milano. What was the guy that got released from the Patriots and Giants linebacker?
There's Jack Gibbons from the Patriots. There's also Bobby Okereke from the Giants that got released. Okereke had a 13% missed tackle rate. That's not what I'm wanting to add to this team personally. So I'm sure any minute we'll see that that's the guy we sign. Like, it's just, he's not going to count against the comp pick formula, which as of right now, it looks like the Bengals with the Trey Hendrickson news would get a 3rd round comp pick, which you don't get this draft. You get it the following draft. So like Jonathan Allen didn't count against that formula because he was a cut. Now Wagner would or could, in some way, shape, or form, if you brought him in, because he wasn't a cut. He's just a free agent. So that's why I thought Greenlaw would make sense. Another guy that was cut, but he just signed with the 49ers. He only had a 7.5 missed tackle rate, 86.9 run defense grade, still under 30 years old. He played the second half of the season. He was coming off an injury, that's why the last 2 years he hadn't played a lot. He had a major injury at the very end of the season before. So that's disappointing that he's off the board. I still like Wagner. You can say, well, his coverage, it's still a 51. It's not awful. And a 90.3 run defense grade. F the comp picks, whatever. I don't know how the formula would work. I mean, you're probably signing him to a 1-year deal. He's not getting anywhere close to what Trey got anyways. I don't know exactly how the comp pick works. But I would still be interested in Bobby Wagner. Just a 4.8% missed tackle rate. Like, just the early down thumper, reliable veteran guy. Okereke, though, Walter Payton, Man of the Year nominee and all that stuff. So you'd be bringing in a good locker room guy there. I just don't know how much of an upgrade he would really be from what we have. I mean, you could say, well, we have the work, but they are also rookies. You expect them to be a little better. And then Jack Gibbons, I don't know a lot about him. 6'3", 242, 62.5 run defense grade, 64.6 pass rush, 63.8 coverage. So it seems like he's like okay at everything, not spectacular at anything. 8.6% missed tackle rate. Was one of the leading tacklers for the Patriots last year, so played in some big games too. I don't know a lot about him to really speak on him, but that's another guy that's out there that wouldn't count against the comp formula. Who would you guys like to see if the Bengals still bring in a linebacker? Obviously, Greenlaw was going to be my guy, and he goes off the board before we even got to talking about it.
I mean, no, it was Wagner or Greenlaw for me. Gibbons, the one who got cut, that makes sense because it's no comp pick and all that and stuff. That shouldn't be, though, our mindset. Oh, let's wait for the 3rd round pick. You're going to win now, though. That shouldn't be it and all that and stuff. My guess would probably be the Patriots guy, because my 2 guesses were, if we do go linebacker, it's either going to be Greenlaw, who got cut, obviously not him, or the Patriots guy because of the whole comp pick thing. I want Wagner, though. I don't give a damn about age. I want Wagner, but I think it would be Gibbons. I think would ADG count as a comp pick?
But he's not going to get much. And Davis Gaither's another guy that would they just bring him back for familiarity? Sure. But if you're talking about batting coverage, even though he has the athleticism to do it, grade-wise, 37.5 coverage grade last year. So not good.
Yeah, he kind of fell off towards the end with the Bengals. He had that one game when he was just seeking and destroying on Lamar Jackson. Yeah. The 266 chase game. We went and stomped them in Baltimore. Didn't really see much. I would be interested in Milano for sure. I think.
I just think he hasn't been good. He would be the one I would be disappointed with, personally.
Really? Okay. When I saw from the Bills defense, they performed so much better when he was out there, in run defense, but He did. There was a few plays where he looked a little slow on the outside, missing tackles and whatnot. So
I feel like he's had some injuries and he didn't quite look like the same guy last year as 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just wouldn't excite me but I know there's not a lot out there. So at this point, it could be a Matt Milano. Like, it would be surprising. Brian here, just real quick. Brian says, I think Wagner would offset 7th round comp pick that they are slated for, because I think they're slated for a 3rd and a 7th. That's fine. Who cares? I could care less if Bobby Wagner offsets the 7th. Hey, if you can get a Bobby Wagner and you brought a Jonathan Allen in along with Boye Mafe and Brian Cook and still get a 3rd round pick from Trey Hendrickson in the comp formula, I said screw the comp picks. But if you're at this point in free agency, there's not a lot out there, and you get a Bobby Wagner and keep a 3rd round comp pick, I mean, that's still really, really nice. We'll be talking about next year about in a loaded 2027 class projected to be how nice that would be to have an extra 3rd. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just don't know enough about, like, that's one of my weak points is like what linebackers fit where, right? Now if we're just like looking at a veteran, yeah, I'm all for the Bobby Wagner. Does he want to come here? Where does he want to go in his career? Sort of thing. He's kind of like he's played so much on the West Coast throughout his career. So I could see him wanting to go maybe back out that way too. Seattle's lost quite a bit from their defense too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't see it happening. So it kind of feels like we're in one of those positions where it's like we're shoehorning ourselves into drafting a linebacker within the first couple rounds. It is what it is.
And I mean, it would be okay at 10 if Sonny Styles is there. It'd be like, great, this worked out perfectly. Right. I don't think he's going to be there at 10. No. I don't think Arvell Reese is going to be there at 10. So at that point, then you're going 2nd round, and it's like, I don't want to have to force that. It's there's a lot of linebackers I like. I'm not opposed to bringing one in, but it's also a rookie. And I think, like, with the 2 guys that were rookies last year, like another rookie that you get in the 2nd or 3rd round, like, if it's a Sonny Styles, sure. Like, it worked out. The Bengals got lucky, that they were able to upgrade that position too. But
and things are fluid. Too. We don't know like what the fallout of like some of this other stuff's going to be. Teams maybe getting out from some. I almost feels like a position we might add, like because the thing is, free agency lasts all off season, right? Like you can just sign a guy whenever you want. So it's like, what happens after? What's the big cut down date? Is that June?
Yes, June 1st.
June 1st.
Well, that's a date that's out there, but that's mainly for cap purposes. And that's like some people are designating people June 1st cuts, and they basically kept them till Wednesday when the new league year started.
I see. Okay.
So I don't think you really see like another wave of cuts.
I see.
That point. It's just a designation for how it works for salary cap purposes.
Comp pick question. Does that count against trades at all?
I don't think so. I mean, now if you extend the guy, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, Max Crosby, obviously.
There we go, then.
Since we had our show, the deal fell through with Baltimore. I actually think it's great for Baltimore personally, because I thought 2 first-round picks for Crosby was a little steep. So the fact that they got Trey Hendrickson, keep 2 first-round picks, I don't love that as a Bengals fan. Like,
but Dylan, would you ever, your godforsaken, both you guys, I would never, in my godforsaken life, give him what the Ravens give him. That was a desperate thing. And anybody out there that actually believes that whole conspiracy theory, oh, well, we tried to get both Trey and Max. Kiss my ass.
No, they didn't. They didn't. They're an organization that has a record of doing this. Like, you saw, those that follow like former players, Will Compton's talked about it. They do shady stuff like that. They've done it consistently. So it's not actually, when I saw that come up, I wasn't actually shocked. So I was just like, yeah, they probably got cold feet. That's what they did. Now, the signing of Trey, it is interesting because in a Jesse Mentor defense, if you go back to his Michigan game, they always like guys that can play the run well. So I don't honestly see the fit, to be honest. Like, unless you predict that you're going to get yourself in a lot of 3rd and 7 situations, like to unleash Trey that way, I just don't see the fit from like a schematic standpoint. I could be wrong. Maybe they adjust to him, but I just, for like what I traditionally like, have seen from the Jesse Mentor defenses. It's very sound fundamentally. He actually doesn't blitz a lot. They play a lot of cover two, have, gap responsibility, very fundamental that way. And part of that is playing the run. If you look back at his defenses, he always had defensive lines that were pretty good against the run. So kind of surprising about that, to be honest. But I also think they were desperate for pass rush, so you do what you do. So
he was about to reunite with Lou with the Colts. And my brother-in-law, who's a Colts fan, I don't think he was too crazy about wanting him either and all that. Like Trey, I mean, no. If I ever see Trey against Cincinnati, I'm like, hey, how you doing and all that and stuff, whatever. I'm just really salty how he handled himself here the last year. I'm sorry. It's just, like I've said on the show before, I really have. I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, and that's how you feel. Like, I don't have any animosity toward Trey in the last year. And I mean, he did have to have surgery. So I believe that it was a legit injury for me personally. But at the same point in time, he's a Raven now, so he's our enemy. So fuck him. Like, it's just really that simple.
I always love this name. Tutu Atwell is signing with the Rams. Dolphins.
Back to the Rams. I was going to say.
Dolphins. I always like the name Tutu.
Dude, the Rams and the 49ers recycle their players back all the time. The Greenlaw's back.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Coaches, players, like, they brought back Sala last year for one more year.
Yeah.
As D coordinator.
Yeah.
So another move that happened today was Orlando Brown 2-year extension, about $16 million per year. It's like 2 year, 32. So pretty much what he got the first time. That's not crazy at all for a tackle. Now, our biggest concern is going to be, is that fall off happening? There was some worry and signs of maybe a little decline in his play. He's never the most athletic guy. I mean, it's something we've kind of discussed.
Yeah.
He's a high football IQ guy, so he finds ways to still get it done. I don't hate it, especially for the money. I'm curious to see how they structured it. Like, I've seen some people thinking that would save us cap this year. I hope somehow they did that, but my guess is it changes nothing. It's just money added on to the deal that's already in place. The money that's already in place for the next year is still the money for next year. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to change our salary cap for me personally. But what are your thoughts on the 2-year extension? And then I'll get to my guy, Fuzzy Balls, with a $5 super chat.
Love it.
Thank you, Fuzz.
Fuzzy Balls in the house.
So, Dustin, you're kind of the first person I thought of because I asked you who was this year's Kappa. Now, you weren't too concerned. You did say Orlando Brown, but nothing concerned like Kappa. But I mean, as a leader, I like Orlando Brown. I like Dale said, I'm not against it, really. It's a new 3-year deal. I think that means we're not going to go offensive line with the 10th pick.
My Moreau Freeling dream is dead. It would be dumb to take him at this point, to be honest. Like, you don't go at pick 10. You don't take a rotational guy when you got your guys in place for years.
But Dustin, I'm pretty much we're playing a volleyball game here. I'm serving this up to you, buddy. What is your full take on the Orlando Brown extension?
Hey, it made Joe Burrow smile. Like.
It's all that matters.
Marco Wilson to the Dolphins. I saw Bengals. Miami signing Marco Wilson. Who cares?
Man, Greg, you got to read this stuff before you ejaculate all over the
screen. I saw Bengals tagged it.
My heart stopped like, oh, Bobby Wagner. Oh, I'm so excited.
Max Crosby.
Max Crosby trade the way he got so excited. And then all it was Marco Wilson. The damn Marco Wilson strikes again.
Yeah. Hey, man. He had some solid, like, he had some solid, when he played, he was solid. He got injured a lot last year.
Well, it was like Paul Dehner and them doing their shows, free agency shows, and it was like all they had was Marco Wilson Day, to talk about. Like, that's what I'm talking about, like a damn Marco Wilson. Well, I'll get to Fuzzy Balls super chat here, and then you can continue on with Orlando Brown. Fuzzy Balls, so stoked. One of my biggest concerns was that we would try to rely on Shamar Stewart. We can still be okay if he doesn't step up. Yeah, Jonathan Allen gives you another presence, like having to rely on Shamar Stewart to give you the pass rush from the interior. You got Jonathan Allen, and you can still – Shamar Stewart's a 10 relative athletic score. You still want to get something from him on the edge. You hope to see progression on the edge and had the versatility to kick inside. So I like the move for Jonathan Allen.
I love it. I love it. Like, man, listen, like finding guys that can get after the quarterback, albeit they're 31 years old, or maybe they have fallen off just a little bit. It's still like it's a bonus. You know what I mean? Like, and we need any kind of pass rush, even if he gets us 30 pressures, which he had 34 last year, 30 pressures, 3 to 4 sacks. I'd be happy with that, you know? And those experienced guys, I just think what we've seen over the years is the fact that, like, when you have those more experienced players, like, again, I like to maintain a younger roster, but they can be just so key to helping the development of players, because I think we think like these positional coaches have all the time in the world just to like develop guys, and you know that's part of their responsibility, but man, they got to do a lot of other stuff too. So having like a mentor, and I would love to see like him mentor McKinley Jenkins, see those guys come along. I feel like Jackson, when he got a chance to play last year, he did like have a little juice. So I think those types of things go a long way. And we got him for 2 years. I don't know what the contract kind of breakdown is, but it's kind of nice to have just not like this like 1 year rental deal. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Greg, talk.
What?
I said,
Greg,
talk about something.
oh, he's got his post jizz clarity.
Yeah, man, it just sucks, man. I mean, I was really all excited. I got my hopes up, and god damn it, man. But yeah, man, we'll see and all that and stuff. But yeah, so let me ask you this, Dustin. If you found out all we had to give her was the 10th pick for Max Crosby, would you do it?
No, I want it.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
I just feel like I don't know, man. I'm just all over like Ruben Bain or one of these high end playmakers. You know, I know it's like fun to have a proven guy, but there's something about having a pass rusher that's younger that just like excites me. I think when you look at Crosby's pressure rates, now it's not to say I don't want him on the team or I want to trade for him, but like the 10th pick in this year's draft, I just don't know, because I just feel like that's such a prime spot to get a player that you can have under a rookie contract for 4 years to come, right? And our hope is we're never drafting 10 again. So get a playmaker now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I just want to I just want someone in here that's going to bash the defense, bring that smash mouth Vontez Burfict style defense in here, and that's what freaking Max Crosby is. I'm tired. Like you kind of just said, man. I think DT's the same thing with the pass rusher. Would I rather have Ruben Bain or Max Crosby? Say if Ruben Bainer's there, I like Ruben Bain. I would give me Max Crosby. Give me that leader. Burrow is turning 30 in December. Everybody, you can't just keep starting this. Oh, let's build up the next 2 or 3 years. I'm just tired of it, man. You got to put yourself in a win now mode. Let's fucking do it. Let's just do it, right?
Yeah, and that part of that is the evaluation of where Max is in his career too. You know, do you feel like he is a guy that the last 2 years his pass rush win rate has dropped pretty significantly? He's had some injuries, that sort of thing. That's where it's like I would actually be fine with parting with like a future first, you know. But that
I don't know about a 2027 first though. Like.
Draft class. Yeah, I'm hoping we're drafting last. I hope we're drafting last next year. That's hopeful thinking, but I don't know, man. You could talk me into it too. Like, I get it.
I wouldn't be mad if we, traded and got Max Crosby with the 10th pick, but it's not like I think, we have to make that move, because I think pick 10, you may still get a guy that's hopefully Max Crosby, and Max Crosby was a 4th round pick, to be fair. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a draft guy, so I'm always going to lean toward like I hate to give up a top 10 pick. Yeah. But I get it. Like, you're getting Max fucking Crosby. I'm going to be excited if that happens and we give up pick 10. It's just, for me personally, I'm like, man, the cost control. But it's like the Bengals don't ever do anything that they should to really maximize that when they have you know what I mean, with the rest of their roster. They still structure contracts like they did with Boye Mafe, where they're paying out $17 million against the cap this year. It's like, you don't have to do that. You can spend more cash and not kill your cap as much. And they're a ownership of lawyers. We have to realize that it sucks and I hate it. And I'm never going to be happy. And I'm always going to bitch about it. But that's just kind of what it is.
It is. It is what it is. I mean, You know, we're not the only team that like operates like this too, to be honest. Like, so I mean, we just got to work within the perimeters. That's why I am such a draft guy though too. It's like I don't get excited about like these splashy trades as much as a lot of people do because, or it's like, you know, Commanders spend a bunch of money in free agency. The Commanders just did this.
Bro, yeah, the new owners, I love what they did. I'm sorry. I love what they did. If that was our free agency, I'd be so excited.
Yeah,
I'm actually trying to see if I could share screen here because I want to go through like some of the team's free agents.
Yeah. You're and maybe I'm just a little too calculated, you know, with some of this stuff. I think you're more like, hey, take swings. I'm maybe in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm all about get as many people, and I love that they took so many swings. You know what I mean? Because it's like I just feel like it also helps with your draft and it opens it up. Before I switch over to my other screen to go through some of this stuff, and we'll talk about who we think had good free agencies, who's like and maybe talk a little about what we think they could do, or if it changes some of the draft stuff any. I saw another super chat from our guy Fuzzy, man. And if anybody else wants to give super chats, we always appreciate it.
Absolutely.
He says, day 2, I want second round Jacob Rodriguez. Hey, I'm a big Jacob Rodriguez guy. Third round Antonio Williams. Man, I still got Antonio Williams as a fringe second round guy. Like, if it wasn't for injuries, he could be knocking on the door of late first. Inside, outside versatility. Like, the guy is just so smooth with everything he does.
He fits so perfectly in our offense, Fuzzy. Yes. I mean, that makes my balls fuzzy, and I just shaved.
Good calls there.
Yeah,
Fuzzy, I agree. Greg, if there's any more comments while I got this pulled up, can you pull them up?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got some gray patches, buddy. I mean, I'm a 41-year-old man. There's gray in my hair. There's gray in the beard. I embrace it, man. It is what it is. It's part of getting older. It's not good, Barry Cum.
It's all those hours of film studying he has to do. It's stressful. He enjoys it, but you know, there's with that much knowledge and expertise becomes, what is it? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. That weighs heavy on Dale, so he gets a little gray in his beard.
Yeah. God.
You know, where's your 28 draft? You're probably already got that going.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I've been working on 28 and 29, like the early boards, you know, of like prospects. Kind of, I do that with 27, so it's like this guy could be in the 29, 28 class. I'm not doing full profiles, but yeah, I'm fully working on 27 profiles and setting boards for 28 and 29.
Sidebar, Legend Bay for the Buckeyes. Get to know that name right now. Oh my God, he's gonna be a stud.
Crip's gonna call you a homer.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, dude, like he's Curtis Samuel on steroids. I'm telling you.
So if we look at the Cardinals free agency, Isaac Suamola probably gonna be a starting guard. Tyler Algier, I like him as a running back for them.
I love
Roy Lopez, sneaky signing at D tackle. Kendrick Bourne, yeah. Gardner Minshew, yeah. I mean, they don't really have a quarterback. That's a big issue, and I don't see him get one at pick 3. Andrew Wingard, Elijah Wilkinson, Matt Pryor, blah, blah, blah. Nothing spectacular there, and at pick 3, I don't think anything's changed. They still have so many holes and so many needs to fill. How do you guys feel about the Cardinals free agency and the direction they might go at pick 3?
I mean, Kendrick Bourne, you know.
I didn't even know back. Jonah Williams says they retained him.
Oh, they did. Oh, they didn't. Oh, they did retain him 1 year. Oh, he's gotten paid. He got that big bag ever since he left, right?
Right.
Their free agency feels like a meat and potatoes. I kind of like it for where they're at as an organization, you know. I don't think any of these guys are going to be spectacular, but I think they are plug and play. So sometimes in free agency, that's sometimes what just like you need reliable guys. And like when a new coach comes in, a free agency class, like they either blow it out of the water like the Patriots did last year, or they just get like pieces that fit the system that they can play and be reliable. So as a coach transitions his new systems, draft picks, that sort of thing, they can hit the ground running that way. So. I do like Algier though. Like I think he's a good underrated back. I like that signing a lot.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the Cardinals, Greg? And
Yeah.
like, who do you think they might pick at 3? Like, I just think they could go anywhere. Like, they could take an edge, they could take an offensive tackle, they could do anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know much about the Cardinals. I mean, they took Nolan last year. I'd say concentrate on building up your line, man. You know, go with Bailey or somebody, or Winter Reese, whoever's there 2 or 3, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm leaning too. How about you, Dustin?
I think that's a sneaky spot for Downs. I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, you look at their conference. They go against some pretty prolific passing offenses. Think Seattle, think Rams, 49ers. Like, they got a unique offense, but you got to guard against those weapons. I think that's a sneaky spot for Downs.
Okay. And then Atlanta, I mean, not a lot here. Nick Falk, Jahan Dotson, Jake Bailey. They're really worried about the kicking game, apparently, a kicker and a punter. Austin Hooper back, who was there previously, years past. Cameron Thomas from the Browns. Tua on a minimum deal, another lefty with Phoenix. That's kind of the one that just stands out. Zacchaeus they brought back, who was previously there, another receiver. So it's not looking like, hey, we got a big need at receiver. And this isn't in the draft order. This is in the order of, alphabetical order here for teams. So,
yeah.
But thoughts on Tua? Obviously, they franchise tag Pitts. Any thoughts on Atlanta in general before we get to Baltimore?
I'll give you my first thought. They got to it because, honestly, this is one of the top team I thought Flacco was going to go to because of his relationship with Kevin Stefanski, because I know clearly they've shown they do not have any faith in Michael Penix. So this was a big win for the Bengals for them getting Tua. And guess what? The joke is on the Dolphins on this one because they're only paying him league minimum. The Dolphins owe him Tua $54 million.
Yeah. Tua gets a lot of hate, right? Like, deservedly so. But it's one of those things where it's like, I think he is a good fit for a Stefanski offense. Like the stuff that Stefanski likes to do, play action, that sort of thing. So it'd be interesting to see how he kind of plays under him.
Yeah, and can either guy stay healthy? You got 2 lefties with extensive injury histories. That's really the big thing. But both of them are talented guys, so we'll see.
And Aziz just gets signed by a different team every year.
Right.
His potential. Like, he's like a guy that, somebody thinks that he's eventually going to be like a double-digit sack guy, and it just never happens.
No, Doug, can we skip the Ravens? I want to talk.
So we got Trey.
Too much attention. No. All right, let's just.
They brought John Simpson back at guard. Jalen Hawkins from the Patriots for only 2 years, $10 million. That's solid. One of the better signings to go because they have so much versatility now with those safeties and in that secondary with Kyle Hamilton and the kid out of Georgia from last year. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. But and then they brought Huntley back and Cheeto back. Cheeto for $5. That's the one Ravens guy said. It's $5 million, but he said $5. I was like, I would have given him $10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But thoughts on the Ravens? Obviously, Trey's the big splash. Hawkins, they did lose Linderbaum. It all comes down to quarterback play and can they win a playoff game? To me,
my take is, the Ravens. Like you said, all right, let's be realistic here, dear. Like you said, even before the cross trade, you said it would have more secure if the Ravens got Trey. And I'll say this: I'll be realistic because they got comp picks too. Then they get like 4 comp picks, so they're set up. And they ace the draft all the time, whether we hate them or not. They ace the draft, so they did a good job. But I still think they panicked, paid Trey. I am never, as I've stated, I will never buy the fact they tried to pair Trey with what's them, but they lost a shitload of guys too. Who's going to block for Lamar?
Simpson, they're really banking on. I don't think he was worth 3 years, $30 million.
No,
but they're familiar with him. That's kind of a crazy contract to me.
They like his pass blocking, run blocking, but he's, that's the thing. Like, the run blocking wasn't the problem for the Ravens. They cannot pass pro at all, So, yeah, I think that the Hawkins was an excellent signing. Yeah. So I think they lost a lot of guys, obviously, but I think actually they got a pretty decent value with him. I think retaining Cheeto, I almost view Cheeto as like a Raven now, to be honest, bro. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It just kind of feels like he's having a good time there. I think, I actually think the Gwen side, I think he was solid too. So I don't know. I think they identified some pretty decent players as part of their free agency.
I agree with this dude right here. F grade, 95.389. I'm with you there, buddy.
Yeah, but despite everything I said, fuck the Ravens.
So. Yeah. Oh, no doubt. The Bills, they traded for DJ Moore, and they gave up a second rounder for him. I didn't love that move personally. Bradley Chubb as their big splash defensive end. I don't know. I mean, I guess the best of Bradley Chubb is good, but he offered pretty mediocre corner, a backup quarterback. They were able to keep Dawson Knox at tight end. A lot of people thought they would release him. Not a lot here for the Bills. What are your thoughts? And I don't think it really changes a whole lot. They still need another outside dominant receiver if they could get one in the first.
Well, I know Bradley Chubb. I would have liked him. Do you think he got overpaid? Would you have taken Chubb or more Mafe?
I'm not a Chubb guy. I just, I just don't like.
He's had a lot of injuries, right?
Yeah, injuries, and he's not good against the run. I don't know. He's just whatever to me. So I think he's overpaid for sure.
Yeah, I don't love what the Bills did. Is my initial thought. And then the Panthers, Jalen Phillips. I mean, big signing, paid him a lot, $30 million per year. I hate they got Devin Lloyd, obviously, and only $15 million a year, not the 18 that he was originally projected. I think that's a solid deal. That's a good player. Tiny hands, Kenny Pickett, Luke Fortner, pretty decent pickup at center there. John Mechie, will he ever be anything? Who knows? Probably not. Forsythe, and then retains quite a few guys on the roster there, including Isaiah Simmons that some people originally wanted back in the day here. But thoughts on what the Panthers have done? I still think they could be looking like, man, if Kenyon Sadiq gets to them, they would love to add a player like that in the draft.
Yeah, I hope he goes there, because if not, he's going to go to the Ravens. I mean, the Panthers have formed a pretty solid roster, man. In the playoffs, they gave the Rams everything they could handle. So I think they made some pretty solid additions, to be honest. And Devin Lloyd, obviously a guy that the Bengals were in on. I would have loved to win that. They got him there. Bryce Young, what did they exercise his options? So they have the flexibility of probably not having a lot of money tied to him yet. So I think this is kind of a free agency class that's kind of showing okay, we're building the pieces around you, Bryce Young, from a defense standpoint. We add some receivers. This is going to be a make or break year for him on what direction they decide to go in with him.
So, man. I mean, you got Devin Lloyd. I really thought we had Devin Lloyd at one point.
That would have just really crushed that first day. That night, we would have had Devin Lloyd too. The trifecta of pretty high level free agents. I would have been really excited.
I would have, guys. I wouldn't have done this. I would have been at the airport picking him up, taking him to Paycor. You know what I would have done before that? Taking him to Midwest Best Barbecue for some nice Grippo wings, so he had a nice full stomach, so he could try on his Bengals jersey. By the way, Midwest Best Barbecue, proud sponsor of the show, and also I would have ordered him a chop shop, another proud sponsor of the show that I would have mailed to the stadium.
There you go. And then the Chicago Bears, Kobe Bryant. I mean, we'll see. Decent Super Bowl winner, Cincinnati Bearcat, Greg's squad. I like the Devin Bush signing for just $10 million a year. They did that one early on first day as well. Neville Gallimore's never really played well, but they could use anything at D tackle, kind of like us, and only $6 million a year. Hey, why not? Jedrick Wills, interesting, set out all last year trying to get fully healthy. That could actually pay the biggest dividends for them, in my opinion. It's a low-key signing like that. They brought back Braxton Jones for 1 year, $5 million, up to 10.
Yeah.
But I think it's it's open competition for spots on that O-line that's available. And then they traded for Garrett Bradbury after the guy they picked up last year retired out of nowhere, a young guy. Those Stanford guys, man, they like to retire early.
Well, you saw Bryce Huff just retired too, and he was balling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Jarek Wills, that would have been a guy I would have had come in to be a swing tackle. He would have been. That would have been intriguing. By the way, not changing the subject here with the Bears. Browns just, by the way, cut that guy Conklin, that good right tackle. Would that be a guy you bring in as a swing tackle or no?
Just seems like his best football is behind him at this point. Unfortunately, like I'm like a vet minimum. I'm not opposed because it's hard to get tackles at all, and you're talking depth piece. So I'm not ruling it out. I just think, unfortunately, he's had a lot of injuries. Just not the same guy. We get to the Bengals, man. There we go. Look how short this one is.
Damn.
We got to do more, guys. We need more names on this. But obviously, Mafe, Cook, Allen, we like those signings. We like bringing back Reisner. But, man, toss me a linebacker in there. You know what I would really get excited about, low-key? If they went out and got Darnell Mooney or they brought in Christian Kirk at wide receiver to upgrade over Andre Yosavash. Woo!
Yeah.
Sorry,
Greg.
Greg.
I do think that they may. I don't know if they're looking at receiver. They haven't been linked to anybody, but I do think I could definitely see David Njoku signing. I could see that being a Bengals 1 year. We'll get you paid. Come on down, bro. I think he's going to be added to the list shortly.
Yeah, and put Njoku on there.
Yeah, why not?
Let's go wild, boys. Let's go wild.
Let's go wild.
I mean, that guy, Dick's Insider, he the insider, he's literally insider. Guys, that's the guy to follow.
Hey, yo.
But the Browns, Zion Johnson, man, they paid him. I still don't quite get that one. They're hoping they get the best of him. Elton Jenkins, I like that they're trying to do some stuff on the line, traded for Titus Howard. Quincy Williams, good solid linebacker. They lost Devin Bush. So any thoughts on the Browns? And they have 2 first-round picks. I still think Monroe Freeling or someone like that at tackle. I still think they need a wide receiver. Obviously, they haven't added anybody there. Like that, they're screaming tackle and wide receiver in one way or another in the first round.
Dale, I was going to say, Dale, you're second on the Browns right now here. I'm just kidding. Yeah. But that Simpson guy says he loves Todd Monken. He's hyping up Todd Monken, man. What if they took him at Sampson or whatever the hell his name is? The guy from Alabama. What if they took him at 6?
Oh, Caden Proctor?
Simpson? You talking about
Tyson? The quarterback.
Yeah.
I was still on tackle. I was like tackle and receiver. No, I can't see it. I can't see him doing it, but man, it is the Browns, and I would be so happy if that happened.
Oh, yeah, everything.
It would be like when the Giants took Daniel Jones around pick 6 as well. I was like, oh, yeah, that guy sucks. Hey, Daniel Jones has been okay, but he's certainly not worth what picking with.
Yeah, that's
Brisker has not signed yet.
I was going to say, the backup quarterback situation is something that we probably need to start talking about at some point too. Not that I was sad to see. Thank you for your time, Jake Browning. You had some sparks, but I think he came back down to earth last year, especially with teams having tape on him now. So I'm not really too sad about that, but conversely, we need a backup in place too. So it'll be interesting to see where Flacco goes, or if to this point. Yeah.
So any other thoughts on the Browns? I mean,
no, the Browns, hey, look, they'll make good moves, but they screw up at the end. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, they also brought back Tevin Jenkins. So I like that, Zion Johnson, Elton Jenkins, Tevin Jenkins, Titus Howard. At least they're taking swings for their offensive line.
Yeah.
But they still need to add to it in the draft and early, in my opinion.
Yeah. They're definitely just throwing bodies. It's whatever. Get a guard in here. We'll overpay for them. We just need guys because they literally lost most of their offensive line. So those are signings, desperate signings, but you got to do what you got to do. So,
and then the Cowboys, Jalen Thompson seems like a good pickup. I know Paul Dehner liked him for the Bengals potentially. And then after that, they haven't really been super aggressive, in my opinion. Obviously, the big move was trading for Rashawn Gary. would they get back in the Max Crosby sweepstakes, and then they franchise Pickens? So any thoughts on the Cowboys and where they might go at pick 12? I still think linebacker, there's some other spots too, but they're going to be in a spot where linebacker is probably going to have to wait. They have picked 12 and 20 in the first round.
I could so see them doing a Crosby trade for sure. I really could.
Oh, please don't.
It would be full circle because they just let Miles or
Parsons,
yeah,
Micah
Parsons, kind of walk, and you're going to end up probably with like a similar salary almost. It's like Jerry. That's like a Jerry thing to do, but I don't know. Like, I do like Thompson. Sam Howell as a backup, not a fan of his. He just never plays well anymore. I think the Rashawn Gary, I have friends that are Packers fans. They can't stand him. So that doesn't really move me at all, So, yeah, nothing here that's like crazy for me. So,
yeah, and they traded a couple defensive tackles, which, man, that was another one the Bengals probably should have been in on. Third-round pick, another guy that went to the Niners.
They could potentially be duplicating what the Bengals did, though, because after Pickens this year, are they going to – because, they're kind of just kicking the can down the road into next year. Are they going to be the next team that commits high money to your, two receivers? So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that next year.
There's a lot of similarities with the teams. Like, they're not as active and aggressive as they probably should be. But they are paying high money for the receivers, for the quarterback. Defense has been an issue. So there's a lot of that. Broncos. So they have signed no one. They have signed no outside free agents. That's comical to me.
That is, because that is funny. We talk about free agency so much, as Bengals fans, I think we sometimes fail to realize there's literally teams that do not sign any free agents in the offseason.
Right. Ours could look – I mean, I didn't think they'd bring back Dobbins, paying him $10 million. He's just never been able to stay healthy. They brought back some guys. I get that. Cool. Stick with your guys. And they were in the playoffs. But when you're in the playoffs and you're looking to get over the top, if I was a Broncos fan, I would be pissed I've signed no one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'd be pissed off too, man. I mean, come on. You're close. You're so close. You got all that talent around you. I mean, imagine being a Bronco fan right now. You're breathing that air right now and all that and stuff in Colorado, and you're pissed off as fuck.
Yeah.
Dale, is Denver ever been a team that's been super active in free agency? I've always felt like they've kind of
no. For the Cowboys that 1 year, who's that guy they sent from the Cowboys? That linebacker that won the Super Bowl for him. What was his name? Damn it!
I don't know. They got Peyton Manning 1 year. I know that.
Yeah. There you go. They got Wes Welker 1 year. I mean, they got.
They plugged in like those, but like on a year-to-year basis, I always feel like that's a team that just never. I just think there's some teams that.
Well, they had brought in Greenlaw, right?
And they've done those like little transactional kind of like veteran pickups before, but like it shows like there's some teams that just like do not participate in free agency whatsoever. It's just actually the Ravens is a team that will make like some later older guy additions, like they did Cheeto last year and stuff. But there was a couple years there where they weren't that like, they made the big splash with King Henry and stuff, but like they weren't super active at like throwing tons of bodies either, Yeah,
no. As my since he says here, Steelers really used to never participate in free agency. I'm surprised Steelers. How come we never heard people ever come after the Steelers for something like? Well, the Steelers knew how to draft.
I mean, that they were still winning. You know what I mean? You win, no one comes after you.
Yes. Dale, Nostradamus wants to know how you feel if we drafted Drew Aller in the 6th round. Kid has
sixth round, sure, yeah. We need a backup, and like he still has tons of natural talent, like arm talent, mobility. He's just so inaccurate, bad decision maker, and then had the injury this year. But yeah, you take swings on guys like that all day long on day 3 at any point, 4th, 5th, 6th. 7th, you know what I mean? Like, I always take those swings for sure.
Yeah,
talented guys.
Yeah.
The Lions, I don't know how to feel about the Lions. More guys retiring, this and that. Teddy Bridgewater, Isaiah Pacheco, I guess, they did make a trade there and brought in Juice Scruggs, lost David Montgomery, Cade Mays to come in and play center this year. Rocky Ascent. I mean, nothing exciting to me.
Rocky Ascent, man, I love that name.
Any thoughts on the Lions and where are they gonna go?
But Pacheco, I mean, obviously he's not out there. I still liked Isaiah Pacheco, man. Him and Gibbs, man, that's going to be a good combo, right?
Should be decent, but I don't think it's him and Montgomery.
They struggled running the ball down the stretch last year. Like that offensive line was getting their asses kicked, towards the end of last year. So I think they got some issues up front now. So the Lions. And Dale being plugged in the draft, they were the team that were being applauded for when the Gibbs draft and everything they did that year. If you look at their drafts since then, they've actually absolutely stunk.
And that always kills you when you have a couple bad drafts in a row. It will absolutely kill your momentum. I will say this, and why free agency maybe looks like this a bit. They have done a really good job at re-signing their own talent and not letting it leave. Remember all the extensions they had over the last couple of years? So I think they'll still be in the mix for a playoff spot. It's just nothing jumps out in free agency.
Yeah. And then, when your team is investing a lot on your own players and retaining them, the chances that you're going to be, again, active in free agency, this looks like a free agency class, to your point, that they prioritize signing their own guys and not going outside, where it's
100%.
I mean, who do the Commanders have to re-sign? Pretty much nobody. Maybe eventually Jaden Daniels, but he's only going to year 3, so they can go.
And that's a point Greg made to me the other day. Was they do have a rookie contract quarterback.
Yeah, that's why. I wasn't trying to go against you, Dale, or anything.
No, Greg, it's conversation. I don't get butthurt over conversation.
They are doing exactly what the Patriots did last year. The Patriots rookie contract. Newish coach coming in and just dedicating tons of resources to defense,
and it can work. Like it worked with the Bengals when we first had Burrow. You know what I mean? It's just you have such a short amount of time to really hit.
Yes.
Really nail your free agency with a bunch of signings with your rookie contract quarterback.
Exactly, because a lot of these free agency classes, if you look at them, they're not guys that are going to probably stay the whole time either, right? There's going to be probably a cap casualty in a year or two, things like that. So to your point, Dale, when you are signing these big classes, you need them to deliver, so we'll see.
I want to go back. My sensei about DJ Reader, K. Adams. I asked Joe Goodberry this on Twitter. I think you guys probably knew this too. There's just no room for him since we have Slayton, since we just got Allen. There's just going to probably no room for Reader, right?
Yeah, I think a draft pick is more likely.
Yeah.
Than bringing in Reader. Unless you're cutting Slayton, and I would rather have Slayton. I thought Slayton was just fine in that role, personally.
Yeah, me too. I had nothing again. When I saw a comparison with Reader and Slayton's stats, they're really not off at all. Now, Reader has a way better PFF grade, but it really wasn't that off. Slayton, people just want to dodge it because we just didn't do shit last year in free agency, but Slayton did very well. Not very well, but he produced. Okay.
He did what we expected for a run-stuffing defensive tackle. Right. I thought he was fine. He was what you should have expected. He just shouldn't have been your splash signing.
No.
That's it. The Packers, Javon Hargrave, who got released by Minnesota along with Jonathan Allen, who the Bengals picked up. 2 years, $23 million. I mean, both guys are kind of similar, honestly, and they didn't work out as well as Minnesota hoped, but Minnesota was just not as great as they were the year before in general. Other than that, they really haven't done anything. Traded for Zaire Franklin, brought back Sean Ryan specifically as a guy for 3 years, $33 million. And Kennard, Josh Wiley. I didn't even realize Josh Wiley was there now, but any thoughts on the Packers, Javon Hargrave? Would you rather have Hargrave over Allen?
Good question. I'm happy. Look, I'm happy with Allen, but I wouldn't have bitched if we got Hargrave.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of would probably still take Allen. I think some of like the PFF numbers show like he was actually more productive still. So I mean, Hargrave had a higher overall PFF grade, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think the Packers are they're still a solid roster. I mean, everything is tied into Jordan Love and Micah Parsons, so everything around that is being built that way. They did, I think, losing Dobbs was kind of big for them because he like their wide receiver core. I know that they picked up Sky Moore, but that's more
They're
of
just so injured.
yeah,
right? Like
yeah. So
Christian Watson can never stay healthy, and that kills him.
Yeah. So I don't, unless they go into the draft and address that position, I just don't. I feel like they're just going to be kind of the same team again.
They need a big leap from the Texas receiver they drafted in the first last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Texans. So I like the Braden Smith signing. They need offensive linemen. He could play guard there. He's played right tackle with the Colts, but he's more natural guard. Blankenship, if he bounces back, that's a good safety signing, and I like what they have in the secondary. So adding him into a good secondary, and then Logan Hall, a guy we were hoping pretty cheap really cheap contract, 2 years, $7 million. That's one I would have liked a lot, Logan Hall. So Texans low key not bad, but it's still and the trade for David Montgomery still all boils down to the quarterback position. It's just an awful performance by my Ohio State Buckeye.
Yeah. Yeah. He hasn't played good since his rookie year, to be honest. I think this is going to be we're counting down. If you look at Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, we're coming to like some crossroads for some of those teams where they're going to have to decide because you got to commit money into these positions, right? And look what happened to Miami, right? Like Tua's gone. They're in cap hell, although they figure out a way to sign Malik Willis. But it's like one of those things where it's like they gotta see some production from those guys this year. And I think we'll see with CJ Stroud, man. He fell off fast though.
It will ultimately they're good. Their defense is good. Yeah. They got a good defensive coordinator, good head coach / defense coordinator. Yeah. It's all up to Stroud. It really is.
I'll be back, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom quick. I'll be right back. Okay.
All right, buddy. Danielle Hunter bringing him back, but at so much money, it's kind of crazy how much money they're paying him. Ingram, Schultz, Rankins, I feel like they did good retaining guys here in the retain list for them. So I think they'll be right back in the playoff mix. Once again, it'll come down to how does Stroud perform in the playoffs. The Colts, Daniel Jones, Alec Pierce, guys that they needed to bring back, but Arden Key and Michael Clemens, does that really move the needle for Lou Anarumo? Does Lou Anarumo all of a sudden feel like he's back in Cincinnati and he's not getting anything? Or is it just like, hey, we traded for Sauce. That needs to work this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know, man. That Pearson, I just don't get that contract whatsoever. Have we looked at his stats? I know
neither of them really. Neither of those contracts. I don't know. It's you had a decent year last year, but I could see a big fall off for the Colts this year because I also don't believe in Lou as a defense coordinator.
No, not at all. I just think his best days are behind him, bro. I don't know. I just feel like he just doesn't have it. So
yeah,
Yeah,
that's just how I feel. I don't love the Colts.
I don't know what their strategy was.
Yeah,
I just don't get it. I don't know. I don't know where they're heading. I mean, literally, Daniel Jones is coming off an injury. When's he even going to be back? So
Jacksonville, similar here. Chris Rodriguez, cool. And all the young guys they had last year, they lost ETN. They have done basically nothing in free agency. And, playoff team, what are you banking on? You lost Devin Lloyd.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Jacksonville? That's another team I could see regressing along with the Colts.
Somebody brought up a good point, Dale. Do you get a sense a lot of teams are just playing the comp pick game this year? And to your point, 27 draft is going to be so stellar. I am afraid that there's so many teams that are just kind of punt. They're not tanking, but they're not looking at this as they're all in. We're going all in year. Jacksonville kind of feels we got to the playoffs last year. Like, we're not crazy maybe about the free agency class. We lost some guys. Let's take the comp picks. Let's build for 2027. However we finish this year, we finish. Like, I see so many teams that are like a Jacksonville. Like, we just reviewed Green Bay, right? It just feels like there's so many teams that are just kind of lightweight punting on 26 in a way. So, I mean,
Fuzzy with another super chat here. If the Bengals could trade back to the 15th to 18th spot, get another second-round pick, I would not be mad. No, I'm with you on that. I think a lot of teams are going to want to trade back. I don't know who's trading up is the problem. But it's crazy. Jacksonville's GM admitted it. I seen that, and Ryan Sparks said the same thing.
Yeah, I just think teams assess where they're at as an organization, and sometimes they're like, you know what? We're going to go out and we're going to compete with what we have. I know fans don't want to hear that, but that just happens in the NFL where it's like, you know, like we're going to lose some guys. We're going to reprioritize. We're going to go to the draft and try to build that way. So
I would be pissed if my GM said that, but my GM just never talks unless he has to.
Hey,
and we don't even have one.
He's going to have that annual press conference now, he said, like, you know, in the year.
Yeah, you're right, Wes. I hope Fuzzy Balls can pay his rent because he's feeding everyone with these super chats. We appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, thanks, dog. Yeah, I mean, I'm a trade down fiend, bro. Like I'm like strength in numbers. Give me as many draft picks as
right. No, hey, Dustin, like, you know, that's how you win the draft. The more draft picks you have, the better chance you have at acing one of them, right?
Oh, bro, we do it every year. We go back and we go through the drafts and we see like, oh shit, half the first rounders didn't hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Just like I love being at 10, but man, if we could pop back still and get fucking, you know, Woods or McNeil Warren still, hell yeah, sign me up, bro. I'm all in.
Hey guys, talk about the Chiefs, Kenneth Walker, bringing back Kelsey, their direction, who they might take at 9. I will be right back to go to the next one.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, so yeah, Dustin, like Travis Kelsey. Taylor Swift played a big role into this because there wasn't really much of the player, Dustin. This was like, we need our merchandise sold. This is more for advertisement, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, probably. It's like, let's give him. I mean, of a player like him, historically speaking, you probably want to give him one last like rodeo. I mean, you even see it in basketball. The Cavs may even sign LeBron James next year just to like.
I expect them to. I expect them to. Kenneth Walker. I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I want to say. Sure, it's a good signing. Super Bowl MVP. Okay, you lost your whole defensive backfield. Your whole defensive backfield is gone. This is where we had the discussion. You guys got me thinking about Demetrius Love. They're not going to take him because they're going to go defensive back. I think that's essential to go defensive back because I'll be honest with you, man. I think that should be their sole concentrate on Kenneth Walker because their defense did not get the credit they deserve, I feel, at times. You just lost your – okay, sure you have Travis what's his name at the D-line who's getting up there in age. Karlaftis still, yeah. But you are completely screwed at defensive back right now.
Yeah, I do like the signings they made.
All right.
Gilman, I actually like Kenneth Walker a lot. I think he's a pretty dynamic back. I think he is far superior than Isaiah Pacheco. I think Pacheco had that good first year, and then you saw him come back down to earth, you know. So I think he's going to be really good at that offense. Like, so I still think there is a little bit of like rebuild that they're kind of going through. But I expect them to be like a competitive team for sure, you know?
Okay. Yeah. What about the corner they signed? So like the corner, the safety they signed, I mean, obviously that's what's his name, who's now the highest paid corner in the league right now.
I like Gilman a lot. Like, he played really well for the Ravens, super active, you know?
Right.
They need corners, though. They do need a corner.
Yep.
Will they take one at 9? Are they a Delane team? Does McCoy work out at his Tennessee Pro Day? Like, I think that's conversations. But I still think, like, Downs, Bain, you know, they're gonna snipe somebody that we are hoping we can get that falls a little bit.
I think it'd be crazy for them to pass on the tackle. That's been like a rotating door for them, you know?
I mean, they did draft Simmons last year. Are they hoping he's better? Like, I know they brought back another guy that could be a fringe starter, at least for now. I think they're going to take the best player, but not if Jeremiah Love, if he's there.
Yeah. Yeah, that offense line was not like by some of the metrics, like Mahomes was one of the top pressure quarterbacks in the league last year. So they got some building to do there, like, as well. I'm just saying that hopefully so they don't take a guy that we want. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm trying to like project them into taking the tackle so they don't take one of our guys that we are targeting. So
And then the Raiders, draft-wise, nothing's changed. Mendoza's probably their guy. Linderbaum, they gave huge money to. Kwity Paye, Quay Walker, N'Kobe Dean, Jalen Naylor, outside free agents they brought in along with Matt Gay. That's a Gay signing. Traded for Taron Johnson with the Bills. Retained a whole bunch of guys, including Malcolm Kuntz, Thomas Booker, Jordan Meredith. Some decent retains there, along with Eric Stokes at corner. I still think, they need a receiver. That they have a lot of things they still need. That's why they're picking number 1. But I like the Linderbaum signing, even though it's a lot of money. Any thoughts on the Raiders in general? And then the 2 linebackers, they needed linebackers. They went out and got a couple young linebackers that they're hoping.
They need to make a splash, this is Vegas, man.
Yeah.
You got to roll the dice. You're in Vegas, dude.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Real talk, just because I've gotten to go to a game when they were in Oakland still. And it's like one of those AFC teams. Like, obviously, I'm never rooting for another team in the AFC besides the Bengals. But if there's going to be a team that's good, just like for the NFL, I would like to the Raiders. And I like I would love Mendoza to have a good, launching point for him because I hate to see quarterbacks be put in shitty situations. So, with that being said, I do think they're doing the best that they can to build around Mendoza. So I think.
Well, I've seen a lot of buzz about Kirk Cousins too. Now that he was released, they could bring him in, and
that would be excellent. That'd be.
I think Mendoza's ready to start though. I don't think they need to bring a guy in to bench him.
Right.
Yeah. If he wants to come, and that's the thing where it's Cousins is. And that's the thing with Flacco too. Is somebody going to give him a starting job?
Right.
At this point, I don't know. I don't think you're going to see the same thing for Cousins still. I don't know. I'm not seeing it right now.
It's not going to be a true starting job.
Doesn't go there.
Yeah, it's not going to be a true starting job if somebody said, "Oh, we'll let you compete." Yeah, that's bullshit. You're the backup.
Right.
Oh, a little update, guys. I don't know if you saw this. So, sources: Caleb Banks suffered a broken bone at the combine that will sideline him till June.
Oh shit!
Bro, he is at least a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's in the 20s on my board. He was never a guy I'd take in the top 10. A foot issues for a guy and it's recurring foot issues. I had not seen that. I appreciate that update. I think it's very important because the Peter Woods and didn't do everything at his pro day, and I didn't think it was spectacular what he did do. He's not the freak you thought. 298 instead of 315. That's why I love the Jonathan Allen signing. There's not a D tackle I'm taking at 10, including Peter Woods. I'm out. I am out on Peter Woods at 10. Officially.
We were Woods riders.
I still am, damn it.
No, I know, but it is what it is, right? I can't ignore these flags.
Let's talk about this. So let's get into it now because we were gonna come across this today at some point with his pro day. So what's your thoughts?
I haven't got to see it all. I just seen some of the numbers, and it's he didn't test like a freak. He didn't do all the testing, and he didn't test at the combine. And there's reports of an injury with Peter Woods, and it's I just don't. It's just been a bad process for him, right? I feel like he's getting bad advice. I feel like he didn't have the greatest season. I do start to question, how much do you love football?
Mm-hmm.
In general?
Yeah.
You should be more dominant with your skill set because his hands and his feet are exciting. The flashes are exciting. But you can't just take flashes at 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you hit it on the head. I do think some of the concerns, and we hear this around draft time to buzz people down a little bit, but when you start having questions about people's passion for something, that's just I don't know. That's a tough thing to train into somebody. You either like playing football, Now that's not to say guys got to be like film junkies like Peyton Manning all the time. Like they can have a life outside of football, but if you're not somebody that's willing to put the work in and have that passion, like you're going to be out of the league pretty fast. So that's definitely a concern.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. If he's there at 41, sign me up. But I'm out at pick 10.
Oh, yeah.
I just am. If we trade down to pick 15 to 18, I feel better about that pick.
No, Dale, let me ask you. I'll play hardball with you here. Say, would you trade 41 to 34, something like that, or no?
Sure. Yeah. And I think that's somebody asked me on Twitter earlier, like, could you see him get to the second round? And I said, yes, but I think if he gets to the second round, he's that guy that people are trading up for at pick 33, 34, and he goes off the board then. Because there's still too much talent, right?
Yeah.
I just can't take it at 10. I'm just out at 10. And I don't hate him as a prospect. He's still a top 20 player in this class to me. He's still my D tackle 1. I just can't take him at 10.
Steelers are going to take him, aren't they?
Oh, God.
Derek Hartman.
The Ravens.
Well, the Ravens still have 14, and it's like, now if they took him at 14, I'd be like, whatever. I'd be like, okay, you're taking the swing. I get you taking the swing. But I won't be mad if that happens.
Yeah. I could see the Ravens doing it for sure because, like, what's the status with Matabike? Like, is he still like concerns about?
Yeah, he may never play football again. Last year, and there's not been an update.
Yeah. So
that's where I'm at. We'll continue with the free agent look. The Chargers, Baez, they brought in. They needed that help on the O-line. Cole Strange, I'm good with them taking that swing. He should have never been a first-round pick. That's on the Patriots. Love the Charlie Kohler and Keith Mitchell pickups. They are going to fit really well in that Jim Harbaugh offense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Those are – and they brought in Alec Ingold, the fullback. Like, bro, that free agency is screaming, we're going to run the fuck out of the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to let, like, Justin Herbert peel himself off the ground like 30 times a game.
Cole Strange, isn't that the guy that was not supposed to be like a 5th or 6th round pick, and the Patriots took him? You know, like, I remember who was it? Sean McVay, the Rams never trade all their picks. Sean McVay's like, yeah, we were thinking about him with our first pick. We had in the 4th round pretty much.
Yeah.
So where are you at with kind of their pass rush, though? Because, they lost, obviously, Odafe Owe. Like, they still got Tier Tart. They brought back Khalil Mack. He's been paired with somebody the last couple of years. That would be my only concern for them. That's the thing with the Chargers. They had like tons of cap space too. So of this, I like who they signed, but I thought they'd probably pursue some more like rushers.
Or find a way to retain Owe would have been nice. But bringing back Mack is probably instead of Owe is what they did.
Yeah.
And I get it. And Tart, obviously, very good player. Should have been a Bengal. We can bitch about that. But it kind of says they should probably take a defensive lineman. Whoever falls to them in the first round, they should go D-line in the first round. And that could be a Peter Wood spot.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah. Yep. I could see it.
And then you're like, oh, what they did along with what they were able to get, oh, they did pretty good. So I don't hate what they've done, to be honest.
No. And I hate Harbaugh, but he's had to navigate, some cap stuff there because they had some pretty big contracts and like they kind of weaved their way out of that now and they're on the other side. So, I think they're going to continue to improve.
Yeah. And we'll get to the Rams. The Trent McDuffie trade and paying him. I love McDuffie coming out.
Yeah.
Don't talk about this guy enough. But I said it over summer scouting. I've said it again. Avion Terrell is Trent McDuffie 2.0.
Wow.
Inside, outside versatility. I wouldn't be mad if it's not Mansour Delane. It's not Jamal McCoy. And we go cornerback at 10, and it's Avion Terrell.
Holy shit, dude.
That's how much I like him. I felt the same way about Trent McDuffie. He's been pretty good, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Real
I'm
good.
telling you that Avion Terrell is being slept on in this class. Wherever he goes, he's going to be a dog, a great player, a lot of forced fumbles. He's not the biggest guy. His brother, first round pick. Like, he's got that football fit. He's got everything. 3 years at Clemson, and all 3 years he produced.
Mm-hmm.
From day one, that's a guy that comes in and makes a difference on your team. I love Avion Terrell. But back to the Rams, they got Trent McDuffie, who's making 4 years, $124 million. I would have no problem making Avion Terrell pick 10. We don't talk about him at all, but I'm telling you, that guy is going to be someone people are going to go, oh, well, damn, he's pretty fucking good. He got a 4-year, $124 million deal after his rookie contract. That's who Avion Terrell is, I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing on my business now.
I love it, man. Hey, go for your guy, bro. No one's. Hey, this is Dale's draft. This is Dale's draft. You know, we're gonna mock him the next time. No, I mean, dude, if you got a player like that can come in and make an impact, force multiplier, you know, like cover all over the field, I'm down, man. I'm down. Like, again, I'm down to make a strength to strength. Like, you know, we added Cook, another DB, make our secondary stellar. You know what I mean? Like, let's go there. Like, look at Seattle's defense last year. You know, albeit they did provide a lot of pressure, but that secondary, man, it was shut down. So that helps. You know, they live off of each other. So if we can make a strength to strength, and that's the guy. If you get another McDuffie, let's go.
Yeah. So thoughts on McDuffie, Watson? They're like, hey, Chiefs, we'll take your secondary. And then re-signing Cam Curl, I thought was a good move for them. Yeah. So I like what the Rams have done, because corner was a huge need. They got 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. If you watched them try to guard any receivers last year, it was a disaster. So they knew that they had a need and they went after it. So I think they did an excellent job.
Greg, any thoughts on the Rams there with what they've done?
The Rams, McDuffie, man, the Rams like to spend. This is L.A., man. You got to spend big because gas is over $8 a gallon in L.A., man. You have to spend big, right?
Greg coming in with the facts for the gas prices.
Hey, look, I've been to L.A. for the Super Bowl. There's some nice parts of L.A. out there. I'm telling you this, man. The majority of the people I saw out there, you see these beautiful women in their 20s driving a Ferrari, picking up their 60-year-old husband, their rich husbands. And I don't think they're married to them for their looks either. Just my opinion.
No, probably not. Well, here's the thing. Imagine you sign and you go from Miami to a California team, or you get traded there.
Well,
your taxes go up by like.
Well, let me tell you this, though. When I was at the Beverly Hills Hotel, let me tell you guys, I was at the pool. Those chicks you see in the music videos, they're for real and all that and stuff.
Didn't you take a plane to the Super Bowl too? Like Greg?
It was
Greg, man.
It was a private jet, Dale.
PJ rocked off the BJ to the Beverly Hills.
Hey! We didn't have Wi-Fi though, dude. To be fair, although we had free drinks, I was drinking screwdrivers, Jack and Cokes, and we get up there, and all we had on there was granola bars and snacks or chips. And then my fans wanted to walk around like, dude, I got to go take a nap. But man, when I was at the pool, man, I was awake.
Are you ready to do it again? Because we play it. The Super Bowl's in LA.
Oh yeah, it's Destiny, you bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you can call me a bitch.
Yeah, he loves to call Chop a bitch, and Chop isn't here. He calls me a bitch too.
Bitch.
So
Chop's my bitch. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're all my bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it, bro.
The Dolphins, man. I feel like they're tanking, but it's weird they signed Malik Willis, right?
Mm-hmm.
$45 million guaranteed, but at the same point in time, 3 years, $45. That is a 1-year contract basically for a quarterback, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
So, like, if it doesn't work out,
it's not bad idea.
And like they have a top 5 pick. Guess what they're doing? They're taking a quarterback in the top 5 next year.
I'm actually a fan of like shorter term contracts, to be honest, because it's like I think it's a smart move. Like
everything they did here is 1 year.
Yeah,
Ben Gonzalez, Joshua Uche, Lonnie Johnson, Zane Anderson, Ben Sims, Alec Austin, Robert Bill, and then retain Greg Dulcich, Willie Gay, Daryl Baker, AJ Green, another AJ Green the third. Probably also 1 year. Everything's 1 year, and Malik Willis says 3 years, $67.5 million. That's a 1 year deal.
Yeah.
It's a starting quarterback for your team next year.
It's a rental roster, you know.
Yeah.
New coach, like give him something to work with.
And he's familiar from Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. Not mad at the strategy. Not mad at it at all.
No,
you know?
That's a team that is punting to next year.
Yeah, it's like it's like a punt from the 50. You know,
but if Malik Willis is that guy and somehow they're good, they're like, okay, okay,
catch lightning in a bottle. You know,
right? And then it's like, you know, and they go 500 or whatever. Then they're like, that's crazy. We have a ton of money next year because we didn't put anything long term on our contracts.
Just don't Matt Flynn us, Malik. Just don't Matt Flynn us.
And then the Vikings signed James Pierre, retained a bunch of players, including Aaron Jones, who I didn't think they would. Not really anything here, to be honest.
Yeah.
Free agency wise.
Cut some guys. You know, are they still is Grenard still up for trade? What's going on with that?
Yeah, sounds like he's probably going to be traded. Sounds like they're probably going to bring Kyler in because they don't have a quarterback. That almost feels like another team that's punting.
I know, dude.
It does. Like some of these you look at and you go, you see their strategy. They're literally punting to the next year.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's just you're seeing so many teams like clearing cap too. You know what I mean? It's like they're coming out of these windows. It's like clear cap, maybe do these like little 1-year signings, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's like it does feel like a lightweight punt. You know, like
now a team that's not punting. Team that has second-year head coach, team that has a rookie contract quarterback. Yep. And this is another rookie contract quarterback. You see teams pushing it in. This is how it goes. The theme is very real, right? Like the trend is real. So the Patriots, Dobbs, 4 years, 68. Vera Tucker, 3 years, 42. Draymond Jones, 3 years, 39.5. Brought in a fullback, Reggie Gillum. You know, early day one signing. Kevin Byard, I love that signing for them. 1 year, $9 million, led the league in interceptions last year. That's a team pushing their chips in a little bit, like they did last year to get there. And then they retained Tommy DeVito. That's
that agent.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Like, you know, Draymond Jones, like a lot of these sightings feel like Vrabel guys too, right? Like, dudes that, you know, Ohio State, whatever. Like
Jones and Byard was with him in Tennessee. Like those, especially Dobbs is just a solid receiver.
Yeah.
Vera Tucker has to stay healthy, but I like the Vera Tucker signing because it kicks Jared Wilson in the center where he should have always been.
That's like how much of those struggles of Drake from last year, because I don't think he was dirt and balls against the Bengals. He didn't even play good, to be honest. Like how much of that is like a concern moving forward too, you know? So that would be the big question mark is like the Drake that we saw against like maybe some of the upper echelon. I don't think he played that well against the Bills either when the Bills beat him. How much of that is a concern moving forward. So I think that's their big question mark. I mean, a question mark at quarterback is not something that most teams aren't used to anyways, but we're going to see how he bounces back from that. Like playoff performance was just terrible, you know? So in the Super Bowl.
I will say this. They underutilized Travion Henderson.
Oh, for sure.
So what they could get out of him could be the key to their team next year and how much success they have.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yep.
The Saints, David Edwards at guard, big money. I like it. ETN. I don't know what this means for Alvin Kamara, but hey, that's an explosive back. Maybe you have the next Kamara in ETN. Like when he's on, he is on. Caden Ellis, the guy I was hoping the Bengals would get at linebacker. That one hurt the most. Yeah. They got our guy Noah Fant from the Bengals.
Oh, no.
Not mad at that one. The top three that they brought in, I feel like are good additions. Another team that has a lot of needs. I'm feeling wide receiver quite a bit for them.
Oh, easily.
Pick 8 this year.
Are they going to pair up 2 Ohio State guys, Olave and what's his name?
If Carnell Tate is there, I don't know how they pass on him at 8. Like if he's there at 8, they almost have to take him.
Yeah. give Shucks another dude to throw to, man.
Yeah, I was not a believer in that guy. We'll see what he does after his first year, but man,
Yeah.
he was way better than I thought last year. 100%.
Year 2 is the barometer for me on even like rookies outside of just quarterbacks, because you see so many guys like flash, and then year 2 it's like, what the hell happened to this guy? So yeah, we'll see.
And then the Giants, Isaiah Likely.
Oh yeah.
Hey, man, if he's on, that's a good signing. Edmonds, that the Bears released, 3 years, 36.
Yeah,
Greg Newsom's a really good signing.
He would have been in the deal. You pointed out you would have liked him as like a third corner.
Yes.
I'm not crazy about that Edmonds, like how much money they give him, but
they brought back Illuminor. They brought back a lot of players.
Our boy Illuminor.
I love Illuminor, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Patrick Ricard, Ardarius Washington, guys that were in, even Stout, right? They were all Ravens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Harbaugh's Harbaugh's like, I'm bringing a bunch of my guys with me. Got some familiarity with Newsom from the Browns, in the division. Where are we thinking they go at pick 5? Because I feel like more than diving into this free agency, wide receiver, linebacker. I mean, they brought in Edmonds, but I don't think that keeps you out of the spot.
I think Styles. I think they'll take Styles here.
Yeah, I'm thinking linebacker or safety. So Downs or
Styles, a Buckeye or Tate, right? It's a Buckeye.
It's going to be a Buckeye.
Yeah.
Reese is on the board. They'll take him. There's 4 Buckeyes that have a shot to go there. I think that's likely.
Does this put a pin in the whole the team hated Harbaugh because you have a lot of the Ravens players that went and signed with the Giants? Maybe it's Lamar's tough to deal with, right?
It was Lamar Harbaugh beef, I think, and GM and Harbaugh and Lamar beef. It was there was something there with the 3 of them, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There's whispers of that, so it's not just my opinion.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But
all right, the Jets.
Osai.
Yeah, got our guys.
Overpaid. Jesus.
A little bit. Demario Davis, who had played there, I believe, previously, and then was on the Saints. Onyemata, but 1 year. Short-term deals here as well. Nahshon Wright, low-key, really good signing at cornerback. Can't believe he only got 3.5 guaranteed for a 1-year deal. And then they traded for Minka. That's huge. Geno Smith, weird. But the Breece Hall, they franchise tag. Juwan Briggs, having him back. I think they've had a solid free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are they doing at pick 2?
Ooh.
That's I could see them be trade out contenders, but who wants to trade up there too?
Right, exactly. I think they'll go Banks.
Yeah.
But who?
Banks.
Bane?
No, wait. Oh, Bailey. What am I saying? Bailey.
I was going to say
not Banks that had that broken
Banks
foot.
just had the footage. What the fuck am I talking about? Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Reese is still in play. Bailey's in play. I agree. Just keep adding to that pass rush. I don't think Osai and especially Enigbari is going to keep them from adding to that. And Reese can play linebacker for them too.
Man, isn't it wild how fast that defense fell off though? It was one of the best in the league, and then overnight it's damn, what happened to all these pass rushers? They can't even get pushed anymore. It was kind of crazy, but yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a defender at number 2 for sure. I mean, you got a defensive-minded head coach, so I think
it's going to be a defensive guy. We just don't know what one.
Yeah, and I think they're probably a little ways away from investing in the offense. So their strategy is probably as we're figuring out what we're going to do with quarterback, let's just double down on the defense and make that really good, and we'll just try to win games that way.
And Philly, not a lot here. Reek Woolen, I think that's a decent signing. Extending Jordan Davis. I don't think they're going to get rid of Carter. They didn't get they wanted edge rushers. They didn't get one. Do they get in on the Max Crosby? Do they give up? That's a team I could see get Max Crosby still.
They've been linked to a lot of stuff. It's I actually don't like Eagles is one of those things where I just like it's a hard to put like a finger of like where they're at now. You know what I mean? Because it's like, do you actually believe in your quarterback Hurts? Like are they gonna move AJ Brown? I don't know, man. Eagles is one of those teams I'm having a hard time figuring out. They haven't been super active in free agency. I mean, obviously they have some pieces. They re-signed Jordan Davis. They're going to have to decide at some point what to do. Maybe they're waiting, like, hey, we're going to be having to throw a lot of money at Jalen Carter. But yeah, to see them not as active in free agency this year it's a little surprising. So I don't know if they're up to something, So
yeah, that's it makes you think they are. Greg, your favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Traded for Michael Pittman. Jamel Dean, I thought they got a pretty good deal on him. Rico Dottle, low-key, really good signing to pair with the running back they already had. Savage, never quite been as good as everybody thought coming out as a first-round pick to the Packers from Maryland. Cam Johnston, Buckeye, and Ohio State Buckeye. Kim Hayward, maybe he's happy now. Asante Samuel, I love that move.
Yeah,
that they were able to bring him back. Thoughts on the Steelers, Greg?
Cameron Hayward, man. People keep talking about TJ Watt. Cameron Hayward drove me nuts more than TJ Watt. Just still playing at a high level. And I still feel like as much as I hate the Steelers, Cameron Hayward never gets the respect he deserves, I feel, half the time. It's always TJ Watt. I mean, that's a great sign. I mean, what is he, 37 years old, showing no signs of aging? Oh, my God, dude. I mean, Cameron Hayward, man, like I say, man, he's a Hall of Famer. I put him – I rank him higher than TJ Watt, and I don't care if you guys disagree with me on that.
That's fine. And any thoughts, Dustin? Pittman, Dean specifically, and then Samuel. Like those three stand out to me.
Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
Yeah,
that's what this class points to me as. He's coming back to the Steelers.
And then the Niners, Osa Odigizua. That was the trade with the Cowboys, third-round pick. Like that would have been nice. I ain't gonna lie. Mike Evans, that one surprised me, right? But That almost looks like such a Bengals deal. Hey, here's 3 years, $60 million. He only got 16 guaranteed. That's a 1-year deal. Vidarian Lowe, yeah. And then they retain, yeah. So any thoughts on Mike Evans, Odigizua?
Well,
they added some guys today, right? It's not updated, Greg.
They added Greenlaw. Maybe
they added Greenlaw back at linebacker.
Would have been perfect for us. And oh gosh, that would have been a perfect signing for us. But whatever, it is what it is. Dale, I asked you the most surprising move of all free agency and trades. You said it was Mike Evans and all that, and I actually agree with that. He gives him that veteran receiver. I still think I don't know if he has the talent he used to, but wouldn't he still be a good red zone threat for the Niners?
Yeah, he's still a good player. Like, I just didn't think he was going to leave Tampa. I would have thought they would have found a way to get that done.
Right. I know him and Baker had a good relationship there.
Is his hamstring going to survive that nuclear or whatever?
Right. I keep saying all this stuff on that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Any thought?
Yeah, I think the Niners. Here's the thing: Mike Shanahan's not a guy that likes to develop people. I think it's pretty clear, like how they're always plucking these dudes that are like experienced. He just does it all the time. So I feel like, they haven't really hit on receiver as well as they would like to. I think, so I think it's just like he wanted to upgrade Mike Evans. He's still obviously playing at a very high level. I think the contract, to your point, Dale, is like one of those that they can easily get out of too. I feel like it doesn't work out. So,
yeah. Little guarantees usually means that, which is why the Bengals structure stuff typically the way they do.
But I think they're banking on obviously like getting some guys back healthy on defense. But I think they're going to be a team to reckon with again. So
and then Seattle. So they've just retained a lot of guys, haven't signed any outside free agents. They lost Kobe Bryant, but I don't think they view that as like a huge loss for them. They lost Kenneth Walker. That's probably a bigger loss.
Mafe.
But they just won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keeping Shaheed, I thought was a great move for them.
Yeah.
Turner, deep threat. Keeping Job, pretty solid move. Go like Josh Jones, George Halani tendered, so they don't want to lose him. He's going to fill a little bit of that role with Walker. He's not Walker, don't get me wrong, but he was the guy who filled in pretty good. And they still have the other running back that was injured. What's his name?
The dude for UCLA. We the Bengals. We were kind of thinking about him too. Fuck.
Somebody in the chat will have us, but
yeah.
So Seattle, there's not much to talk about free agency wise. They just won a Super Bowl. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Would you guys, Zach Charbonnet? Would you guys say their Super Bowl? And I actually love their team. I think they're such a slept-on organization. But like, of all the Super Bowl winners, do you feel like they got no post Super Bowl publication at all? It was like,
not at all.
Right. Yeah. It was like it didn't even matter, right?
I know, Dustin. I totally agree with you. It was the most boring Super Bowl ever. I kind of actually feel bad because I had no hatred. It was just, it felt like everybody's like, let's just skip this year. The script did not go the way they wanted it to go.
Well, the playoffs started off strong, and then it got like kind of a little bit boring as the
season. It was all defense. Like, there was no offense.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that Super Bowl, it was pretty bad.
Super Bowl was like, I mean, I turned it off at halftime. I fell asleep. I don't know about you guys. I fell asleep before halftime. Almost.
Well, it's part of that, like, it's not the star quarterback in Sam Darnold.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm happy for Darnold.
I think we all are, but I'm saying nationally why it doesn't get like all this love, you know?
Yeah. It's sometimes winning football, unfortunately, is boring.
Oh, yeah.
We saw the Chiefs do it for like 2 years. Like, if you watch their games, they'd win games like 16-13. And then,
but they had the star quarterback in Mahomes. So there were so many talking points. And there's not that with Darnold. I think it's just a credit to their GM. And the way he built that defense was incredible.
Well, no, the guy. Well, I think we can agree. We're just so glad McDaniel, their head coach, who just killed us defensively. I mean, he did a hell of a job, but against Joe Burrow and the Bengals at times, and he goes to the Seahawks and just builds a dynamite defense, pretty much, and dynamite and a great. I mean, you win the Super Bowl with what's his name, Sam Darnold's your quarterback. That's a damn good job right there, man.
Yeah, their drafting is excellent.
Yeah.
So Tampa, Alex Anzalone, Kenneth Gainwell, who I'm a big fan of, and then our guy Jake Browning. They brought back K. Dotton, who Greg loves.
That was the guy I was killing Dale and Matt. No, I shouldn't say killing, beating Dale and Madden with.
Yeah, barely beat.
Apparently, yeah.
Tampa, Baker did not play well last year. Is he coming back down to earth a little bit, guys? And now you lost Mike.
He could be like an Alex Kappa quarterback this year for Dustin, right?
Are they hoping Jake Browning is their next Baker?
God.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, we'll see, right? Losing Mike Evans. I don't know. Tampa's another team underwhelms me. I'm not excited for next season if I'm a Tampa fan.
Yeah, me neither. I think in the draft, they need to upgrade their line, though, too. I mean, I know they had some injuries, but they need to upgrade their line, their secondary. So I think when they're up on the clock, I expect them to make picks that way.
So Tennessee spent a lot of money. I don't know how wisely. Obviously, John Franklin Myers, I like 42 guaranteed. That's why he was never going to be a Bengal. Wan'Dale Robinson, 4 years, $70 million. Alante Taylor, Cordell Flott, trying to help the secondary there at corner. Jordan Elliott, Tommy Taylor, Cordell Volson, our guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who's
supposed to be the starter. Good luck with that.
They had a lot of money, so they had a lot of money to spend. And they have, pick 4? So with what they've done, I don't think Robinson keeps them out of any receiver conversations. Yeah. I think D-line, the edge is still in play. Like, linebackers still in play. There's really nothing that's changed draft-wise to me. How about you guys?
I expect their defense to be one of the top defenses. I'll say this, man. If whoever had the best coaching staff in general hired, you could argue it's the Titans, man, because they have, Sat Saleh, we already know, is a defensive-minded genius. We have Brian Daboll as your OC. That's a damn good combination right there, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I forgot having Saleh or Daboll as offensive coordinator because I felt like, man, it feels like Saleh's just duplicating like what happened with him in the Jets, like where they had this stellar defense and they had nothing on offense, but having probably a better offensive coordinator is going to help a lot. I do like Cam Ward. I think he showed some potential, but I like what they did here. I do still think, like to your point, Dale, edge, wide receiver, getting more weapons for for Cam is going to be like their priority going into the draft. So
Yeah, and then Washington, Owe, Chanel, Settle, Okonkwo,
it's crazy.
This
Robertson,
really could have
Nick
been
Cross, Caleb Chasen,
Look at
Charles
all that
Omenihu.
money.
I like what they've done. We'll see if it translates on the field. But once again, as many other times that we went through this, it's rookie quarterback contracts that allow you to invest in free agency and try to hit big like the Patriots did last year.
Are you surprised Chason can only get a 1-year deal on the
Mhm.
market? I was surprised by that.
He had a great playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was getting more than 12 million, right?
Mhm.
If he's taking a 1-year deal, I would have thought it'd been and only 10-3 guaranteed. I would have thought he'd got 20.
Yeah. And
they brought back a ton of dudes. So
yeah, they just Adolfo Owe, I think they're banking on that projection, right? 10.5 sacks last year. He obviously came over to the Chargers and played out of his mind to get that contract. So we'll see if he delivers on that. I think everything with this free agency class does bank on how he performs, though. Despite like the numbers they put here, like when you commit that much money, you need that guy to hit. So we'll see.
And I'm going to be watching Chanel and Cross, right? Two
Yeah.
guys we thought the Bengals would go
For
after that wouldn't break the market so they could add more. They could have got Mafe, Chanel, Cross, another player or two.
If this was our free agency right here, this would have been an A+, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But we got Burrow,
Exactly.
Case, and Higgins
No, I'm
under
just saying.
contract. So it's like we're not able to do this.
Right.
So we have to understand it from both ways. I wish we would have done more. I'm still hoping for a linebacker. Bobby Wagner, come on, man. Give me that Bobby Wagner news.
Yes,
Greg.
just give me Bobby Wagner. Give me Wagner. I'll tell you what, guys. If we sign Bobby Wagner, I'll up it to $30 for a Midwest Best Barbecue giveaway. I'm dead serious.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll post like Skyline Chili somewhere. He'll give us a little hint,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, man. Greenlaw, Greenlaw could have been perfect and all that and stuff for us. So we'll see what happens. But hey, I'm grateful for what we got right now. Just give me that linebacker and we'll go from there.
I'm really happy about the Jonathan Allen.
I am too.
I know he's older, but man, it's such a big spot we needed to upgrade with any kind of juice.
Yeah. I love it, man. I've always been a fan of Allen. Like,
no. So, hey, Gus, I'll tell you a quick funny story here. You'll love this. I was fearing we were going to draft Jonathan Allen because I was so focused on John Ross. I was the biggest John Ross fan. I was ready to go streaking after we got John Ross, thinking this was going to be the steal of the draft. I thought it was going to be what Tyreek Hill was going to be, man. I'm like, we aced this draft. Screw Jonathan Allen. We're not getting him. And because I thought it was going to be Jonathan Allen. Little did I know.
Yeah. I would say on a side note too, just like listening to the stories of the guys today too that we signed was awesome. Cook talking about Burrow helping him in his rookie year. I think Mafe, like, great dude. I think him just talking about like how the coaches see like his potential and banking on that in terms of like production. I thought that was pretty cool. Orlando Brown's press conference, like wherever we think he is, but him just loving the city, his leadership. I mean, it's cool to see. So like
that's priceless.
Some fun
and continuity on the O line.
Yeah.
I like it. So
yep.
Well, fun show. We were hoping for a linebacker. It didn't happen, but we got Jonathan Allen. We officially have Cook. We officially have Mafe. We officially have Orlando back for a couple years, and I feel like our options are getting a little more open in the draft. I still hope. Give me Bobby Wagner. That's what I want. But
yeah. Give me Bobby Wagner, and then I'm ready. Like whatever. Like right draft.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a corner. Like I know.
So who would your second option be behind? Even though there really is none, but if you had to pick one, who would be second behind Wagner?
I mean, maybe I'd give that Gibbons guy a shot. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's him. Okereke, I don't think is really what we need on this team.
What about Shaq Thompson? Nah.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't looked into him too much. I know he's a veteran guy. I feel like he played decent for the Bills last year, right?
Right.
He's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Levante David, is he more of an edge rusher than an actual linebacker?
Who?
David. Levante David?
He's like 37. I mean, he's a linebacker, but he's going to be like 37.
Well, so is what's his name?
Wagner. I know, but Wagner is Wagner, man. He's like
okay.
1-on-1 when it comes to like what he can do as just a run defender, like doesn't miss tackles. Like I want that on my team.
All right, well, I'm sold, man. Let's get Bobby Natty.
All right, guys. Well, great show.
Great show.
Absolutely.
I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Didn't mean to run into Strawberry Ice's time, so I'm sure he's got a show going on. Has started, so his intro might be over now that it's over.
That's pretty good.
So hop on, check out Ice's show, man. I appreciate y'all, and we'll be back tomorrow because it's Friday, man. Maybe we'll get a linebacker, maybe we'll get a corner. There's still some corners out there, Greg.
Get CTB back. Come on, let's get Juice Gang back here.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it at this point. Wouldn't love it, but who's the one guy, Greg? Roger McCreary.
Yes, the guy I
like.
Yeah,
that's the guy. Like I like him too, man. He got drafted by Tennessee in like the second round. Why not? I think Martin Emerson also Brown.
He's there too. I couldn't believe he was there. Let's get him.
Yeah, let's get one of these guys if we're not going to get a linebacker, you know? Let's get my receiver. Let's give me Christian Kirk. That was my guy years ago when he came out.
But Emerson, though, was like because he got overshadowed by what's his name. He was great. That was one of the top corners at one point. I love Emerson. But still, give me Juice King back.
All right. Cap space, Ken, would come from a Burrow restructure if you needed it. But a lot of these guys are going to sign very minimal deals at this point in free agency.
Yeah.
Like you're talking vet minimum for probably some of these guys, you know? $2 million a year for Roger McCreary. Like sign me up for that.
Mm-hmm.
1 year, $2 million. And that replaces in your 53, you know? So maybe it's a $1 million difference.
Would be interesting to see where Reader ends up going, you know?
Yeah. Pack, I'm trying to think. Maybe would Green Bay resign some D linemen. I don't know where he'd go. Let's hope he doesn't go to the
What about Houston? Because they're a team that's been linked to like Lee Hunter, Caden McDonald. Yeah. Like he could go back to where it all started in Houston.
Yeah, he could.
Just tossing that out there. If it happens, I want to be the new Nostradamus.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Yep. We will see you tomorrow at 3:30/4. I might not be here till 4. You guys started at 3:30.
Yeah, all right.
Just depends. We got to work an hour extra each day. So
yeah.
Depends if I get up early and then I'm like there early enough to be home earlier. But
yeah.
Who